And we are live. Okay, hey everyone, welcome to a new session on amplifying F sharp. I'm David, I'm the host of this week, and I will share my screen and we start right away. All right. So as a small introduction, as you know, Amplifying F sharp is our community initiative to help the F sharp ecosystem. We are doing this now for nearly 1 year, and we are doing weekly sessions on some topic in the ecosystem. For example, last week we had the great Maxime in our session, and he showed us his new Glutinum Fable tool and fixed an issue during the session. You can rewatch all the sessions on YouTube if you missed this one. But we are also kind of expanding our topics in the initiatives. For example, there's the F sharp essential lectures idea coming up. It's a 12-week course with collaboration with Ian, and you can sign up on this web form. Just give us an email and we will notify you about the details. And also a new idea is the burned out kind of helpline, if you want to call it that. So if you are an open source maintainer and you're kind of feeling burned out or you're struggling, you can reach out to us and we will try to help you in some way because yeah, we have some experience in this domain. And last but not least, a new idea or new topic is the hiring page. Some of us are freelancers, and well, if you have some project, some work for freelancers in the F sharp world, you can hire us if you like. So yeah, think about contacting us. So that brings us to today's session. I will try and bring fsih into the official FSI. I showcased what fsih is a couple of weeks ago. So as a small recap, let me show you again what it is, what it can do. So if you have a normal FSI session, you can do something like this to get the package. And then you can open the namespace and you can get documentation about F sharp expressions. Like here you see the documentation for the ID function. But you can also do something more fancy like the XOR operator. And yeah, so you get documentation information at your fingertips without context switching to a browser documentation page or anything. So you can stay in the REPL and work there. Of course, the obvious thing would be to have this built in fsih without the need to reference a package, without the need to open a namespace and all that. So I think a nice thing would be to have something like the hash directive #h and to get this same information. There are, as you all know, hash directives like yeah, help, for example, and yeah, time and all that. And yeah, my idea would be to see what's needed to introduce a new hash directive here with H and yeah, functionality of fsih as it is today. All right. Yeah, let's see what we can do. I think if we just search for this string here, we should get to the right place in the F# compiler code base. So we see there's a text file fsi strings txt. I guess this is for internationalization purposes. And yeah, this variable name is likely used somewhere. And yeah, it's here in fsi. And yeah, this is the code that shows the help. If yeah, that's pretty much it. And so we need to find where this show help is called. It's called here from this match expression, and it matches on something called past hash directive help. So my idea would be to just introduce a new one with our h, and then hook into our functionality we want to have. So I would just call it h, and I don't think we need the m argument right now. What is it? A range? No. And yeah, let's implement this one. So we kind of can take a top-down approach here. Just do a h member, and as you can see, we have these fsi console output printfn functions here, which do the output in the console. So if we have something like this just for testing purposes, I think it should work. We have an error. Okay, this is unused. And yeah, I guess this is good enough to give it a go. If you are in the F# compiler service solution, you can just select fsi project and then go to debug or one. Let's debug it. It builds. Let me increase the power here. Okay.
Well, while it's building, got a question about the helper functions. So from a library author perspective, what all do you have to do to like allow this to be able to work for somebody's library?
You basically just have to reference the package, and then you can use the kind of top-level function which prints out the documentation on the console, or you can also get back a data type with the documentation in a structured way. I can.
I meant like, what do I, as a library author, do I have to I have to include generate XML docs or something in my project file to make sure that the XML file comes out? Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Now I understand. Yeah, it uses the XML documentation file exactly. Yeah.
Cool. So there's not
Yeah.
so as long as the library author participates in just generating their documentation, this should be available for
Yeah.
anybody. Cool.
Yeah. And as uh, usually nowadays the XML files are included in the NuGet files, NuGet packages. So yeah, that should all work out. But I will show some more details in a minute. All right. So here is now the our own FSI running in this console, and if this works like I hope, yeah, we have our own hash directive thingy now here already. So yeah, all all what's left is bringing the whole functionality of FSIH into FSI, and yeah, hopefully hook this code up here in this member. Yeah, we'll see how easy this will be. Okay, so let's go up here, and I think I will just copy the whole code in its own module here. Maybe also do such a comment marker. Yeah, there will be some cleanup to do for sure, but yeah, for this kind of proof of concept we are doing here, it should be good enough. So to read the documentation out of the XML file, I of course had to code an XML parser. I'm not proud of it, but it kind of works. And yeah, let's bring it over to FSIA. Let's do a new top module here and bring the parser in. Yeah, as you can see, I have some debug information, some debug printfs, because yeah, during development this was a quicker feedback loop to see what XPath, for example, works, or what XML names are used and all that. Okay. Of course, we don't have the Spectre console. I used that in the package for like bold fonts and colored fonts, as I don't expect the team to take a dependency on Spectre. Yeah, I will first go without it. And yeah, we need some cleanup here. But first we need to indent this stuff. And I think, how many indents is it? Parser. Yeah. Okay. Right. So as you can see, unfortunately, this the Spectre console does all the markup in inline. So we have to remove these, and yeah, I guess we have to replace the ANSI console markup calls to the fsih console printf equivalent. What was it called? Console output. Yeah. And yeah, I think we need to pass it in here into the print function of the help data structure, which has all the collected documentation pieces from the XML file. And yeah, then we should be able to call fsih console output, and there should be some printf-like functions, and yeah, I guess I will do a replace here. Um, okay. And hopefully this is just a missing. Okay. Missing namespace. Yeah. Okay, 16 errors left. Yeah, okay. So we need to, because the printf works a little bit different, I guess. Yeah, and also the markup stuff is not, the markup escape is also from the Spectre console, so I will bring it in here. And yeah, we need to remove the Spectre console specific stuff here, but yeah, this should be all.
dollar.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I will. I think I will check later what kind of nice markup or nice printing options we have. It's not as important for the proof of concept here. This is parameters. This is and also yeah, we will see in the output hopefully when I forget some dollar signs. Bold and okay. Next. there was a small freeze. And yeah, as you can see, I had to do some strange, dirty stuff, sometimes because of strange XML content. Yeah, and okay. Sometimes I for just normal printing stuff, I didn't always use the Spectre console. So there were some printfs here, and this is most likely just a new line. And this should be the last one. Okay, no errors left. So this was the first module, which passes the XML file. So the next, or the last one is the logic stuff. If you somehow want to integrate this into your package, into your tool, whatever, you don't have to call the H function here from the logic module that does the direct print to the console. You can also use the try get documentation function either on the H class or the quoted module, and you get the help data structure back, and can use it as you see fit. Okay. As a side note, why is it not needed anymore? Like a couple of weeks ago, to quote the expressions we want to get the help for, want to get the documentation from, because of this great reflected definition attribute. You can only use this attribute in members. So the new H function is not a function anymore. It's a member, but then we can use this reflected definition attribute on the parameter, and the user in FSI is not needed, is not required anymore to wrap the expression in quotations, which is pretty great, and was the original goal. But with the help from someone on Twitter, sorry, I forgot the name. I I learned about this attribute, and now it works as expected, at least in fsih. But let's get this also in our code base. Okay, not sure about the indentation. There might be. Oh, it's okay. Okay, we don't need these opens here. Class exists. I guess this is an issue of .NET Standard versus yeah, not .NET Standard. Let's see. I think we can just replace this with system.io file exists. Yeah. Okay. All right. And okay, here we need to pass in our FSI console printer thingy. I guess we pass it in here as a second parameter. What was it called? FSI console. Output. Okay. And code expression.
So then now that's got to get access to it somehow, right?
Yeah. Wait a second. Coded age expression. Oh yeah, I need to edit this one here as well.
Made it a tuple, so that
Oh yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. I I would hope this is enough to compile and yeah, at least give it yeah,
I think we're gonna run into a
first.
problem though with the H unless we can redirect that H call. I guess the directive that we're using, right, is supposed we're going to be able to call that with like passing in the FSI console for the user.
Um yeah, let's see. Where did we edit here? So we can test it out with yeah some simple thing, and I think here in this member we can use the FSI console output, which was passed in into the type. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's try. Okay. Now I hope this is okay. So there's no, as you can see, there's no XML file in the debug folder, and that's why it's unable to get the documentation. But I guess we can just copy in the file, because normally that yeah I will show you in fsih itself how it normally works. So
For what it's worth, I think like FS autocomplete has the same kind of problem where like trying to find the documentation is a bit sketchy depending on which DLL you're actually looking at for F Sharp Core.
hmm,
I don't remember how we solved it or if we even did, but I do remember this popping up quite a bit.
okay. So when I'm usually in FSI, the F sharp core from the SDK is referenced, and for this one, the XML file is always there, at least on the systems I tried. But I can show you here um, in the console. That might be a bit too big. So you do it like this, and yeah, you can see the documentation is found, and the XML file out of the SDK is used here inside of FSI for the ID function. So I would just for this situation copy uh, this file into the artifacts, and yeah, I think that's good enough for now. Um, what is it called? Sharp. Sharp core XML, and it should be in the artifacts. Okay. All right, and now this should work out. Yeah, it does work. Nice. Yeah, and as long as we get hold of the XML file, I think the integration of FSIH into FSI should be the same without any losing features. At least that's what I expect, because yeah, it's really just passing text information from this XML file, and it's just a special case right now that we are using FSI in this artifacts folder, which lacks the XML file. In normal use cases for end users, the XML file will be there, as you saw um, in the console here. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this. Um,
This is like a dev time thing that
yeah,
is these weird egg
exactly. Yeah.
egg chicken problems.
Um, all right. So we have this part working now. Now we need to give an argument to age. and have this argument passed on to the logic age. I think I will remove the auto open seal just to be sure there's no harm. So somewhere in here, I guess the normal input you do in fsih, like if you print if you type ID or if you do a list map, this code has to be somehow evaluated by fsih, and I guess at least I hope we can somehow hook into this machinery to get the expressions and pass them on to the h function. So let's see. Maybe just look for evaluate. Eval path definitions. Okay, it's sounds promising. Get a syn module decal lists. Okay. I would just break here and see if we find our code in this past results, and maybe we can reuse this for our purposes. Okay. Oh, already hit. All right. So we have this mock file name and the defs here. Let's see if we find our ID call. Syn binding. So what you see here is the expression ID. So this is like the past input, the AST, the abstract syntax tree of the user input here. And if we can pass this on to the h function, we could make this work here. So I would do a little Okay, maybe, yeah, hopefully this is already kind of enough, but yeah, we'll see.
I get the feeling it's probably going to try to look up whatever the type of defins is at that point. So,
yeah, there's more needed, so we need to pass. I mean, what happens here is this it value you always see in the REPL is bound to ID. So we have to, yeah, match the let binding that happens there. But yeah, just for making sure that the idea itself works, I would give it a go. Okay, so what happened here was that there was um, a list expression, and some index expression. I don't know, that's kind of the default expression that is kind of evaluated here before you really interact with fsih itself. And yeah, it was able to, yeah, it was able to yeah, to use this expression to get this information here. You see the description and where it comes from which assembly, and the full name. So yeah, I I guess this could work. Let's see what happens with ID. Um, of course, this is now not in the right thing we pass. We pass in the first SYN module decal here, which is a let. So we have to, yeah, do some AST parsing, I guess, before this really makes sense. Um, but yeah, okay, it's always the empty list we are, or the list documentation we get here. So yeah, let's, as a proof of concept, try to match on the let binding in defs 0. Um, and I hope, yeah, okay. It's in okay. What am I? Okay. Thin binding, okay. So there would be a thin expression in there. Okay, and yeah, this is now all unused. So because of the options of the compiler code base, these are all errors here. Its names and expression. Okay. Yeah, let's hope I got this word. Yeah, okay. So we did, of course, in the first one, it's empty.
Just try catch, it's fine.
Is it? Well, I will try to make it wide.
You could probably just do a match then, right? If it's a list.
Yeah.
Then colon. Yeah, that works too.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry for the unnecessary compile time now. Yeah, I think if this really works, there's some AST parser work needed to make this feasible as an idea to reuse the AST here. But yeah, we'll see. Okay. Okay, we have now an SYN expression ident ID, and yeah, let's go into the whole machinery. Here, these are active patterns out of the quotation expression module, which can help you yeah, get information about quoted expressions. And yeah, the thing is, an ident is not something which you get in your normal FSI interaction, because yeah, we are now trying to get information about a SYN expression instead of information about the ID function. And I guess this is because we are passing in AST constructs, and we don't pass in yeah, the constructs that are passed in the normal FSIH usage.
Yeah, so like an additional step to like map that ID to like the actual thing it's trying to look up. Like is that the
hmm,
thing we're missing?
yeah, let's compare so we kind of get an idea what the mapping would be like. So I have already this breakpoint here to see what the expression gets interpreted as. And yeah, so I call H on ID again, and we'll see the difference here. And okay, it's a call, which makes sense. And this call has yeah, the method info, and out of this method info we get the needed information for the assembly location, and from the assembly location we get we can construct the path for the XML file, and yeah, parse it, and yeah, print out the help. So I guess I need to rewrite the AST into yeah, expressions, or into quotation expressions which resemble a call, for example, which could be a little bit difficult because I don't really know how to do, for example, the method info construction here. But okay, it's a learning what would be needed likely. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
at the point in like the FSI terminal that ID is just a identifier, but it needs to be mapped to something at some point, right? So I think that it probably has to look that up. I guess it won't be because it will actually just be an identifier. So like I don't know
um,
how it'd go about looking up like what that identifier is actually referencing without the type tree.
yeah. I mean, we could continue the path. Maybe we find another useful place. Oh, sorry.
Because I was looking the other day to generate quotations, quotation with Fabulous AST. I was receiving syntax oak, basically an AST, and then I was generating the quotations based on the F sharp documentation. Is that what you're after? Let's say if you receive you get if you have AST, you will produce the quotations.
Yeah. Yeah. I think something like this needs to be done. But yeah, I don't know how open the team would be to have something like this in the code base here. But yeah.
I mean, there must be an
Um,
API or somewhere to do that, I guess, or will need to be created. But for your package, you don't need that dependency because you are doing that directly already, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah. It's uh it's a lot simpler in the package than in here in this context here.
Yeah,
Uh,
looking good.
um,
Thank you.
Yeah, do we actually have a type check here eventually? Did we actually get that? We do get that info file first input, but do we get a type check in there somewhere? That would be my guess is where we would have to go next to find the, because
um,
basically it's kind of wanting to do like a find reference essentially.
hmm, okay. Yeah, let's. Okay, what's source files? Hmm. How are the results called again? Check file or file check?
Yeah, there's like various check implementations. I don't know if they actually do a check in here though. Because I guess there's that like show types. I did see that as an argument that gets passed in. So I'm wondering if there is some type of like how does it go about getting types? That's what I'm kind of worried about.
Hmm. Hmm.
You might have to search for it. I saw it as a parameter that got passed into the method that we were looking at.
Okay, here. Process code gen results. Okay, he declared impulse are the typed AST files. or the typed AST structures. Yeah, so we maybe could also not map the AST to quotation expressions, but the type, where we could traverse the type tree like we did with the AST to get to this it binding and get the type from the type tree, and hopefully get the method info and all that, or something like this.
Yeah, from at least from obviously I'm not a F sharp team member or anything, but just from a like it feels very much like this is a find references kind of problem. Like because what you're doing is you're wanting to look that, so it might be like maybe we probably won't do it for this, but maybe like the next step is to research about like how like if I was looking up an identifier, like FSAC's got to be doing something like this, right? It's got to be like, it's got to find an identifier because you can write an identifier in a text file and it's got to look at that identifier and then map that back to the actual function call to get you the documentation, I think.
Mm.
So it's something, it feels very similar to that. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so we have like, yeah, a couple of paths forward for the integration here. But yeah, let's I guess let's see if we are hitting this one. Process code. Okay, this seems to be check closed inputs. Sounds like a call to the compiler. Yeah, okay. So we get the typed AST out of here, and yeah, I guess we could place the machine, yeah, to talk into the typed AST processing in here. Just to confirm. Okay, okay, so here the compiler is called, and after this step we should have the type tree information, and in the contents. Okay. Okay, here's this it binding, and hopefully in there is the ID call. Here's the lambda for the binding, and you see here the app so that the application which is the call we saw earlier. Okay, yeah. We have the func expression. And okay, with the val-ref, I guess I could get something to work to search in the XML file for the white place. We have, this should it will be some work, but I guess this is doable. All right. Yeah, I would wrap it up here because doing the transformation from the TAST into what we need will be too much for the session right here. But I guess I got some idea how to continue the work here and get some proof of concept working. So yeah, any questions, or should we wrap it up? No. All right. Yeah, with that, I will end the stream, and thanks for joining, and see you next week maybe, or during the F# Essential sessions. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait a second, I need to stop.